30th Infantry Division, the United States Army, Europe, and 7th Army. Staff Sergeant Jerry Adams of the United States Army. There's the mic. This is an award for outstanding achievement while serving the Germany 10th Engineer Battalion in combat during the disaster for the German in August of 1982, with less than an hour's notice. The platoon was thrust into the task of cleaning up after they swept through the village and destroyed several continuous work throughout the daylight and nighttime, including trainings and holidays, for 6 days straight. Hold on. Into cleaning up the remains. Cleaning up the remains, which swept through the village and destroyed several buildings, livestock, and training holidays contribute immensely to the amount of physical work, blah, 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 in assisting the village. Sergeant Jerry Adams, the Marine Division, and the United States Army. All praise is due to my father. He cleaned up dead bodies for 6 days after the incident. So they were nice enough to clean up the dead bodies. You know what I mean? After the battle, that was very nice of them. Well, that sure was nice of you, America. Thanks for cleaning that up. I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, thought that was significant. Let's get straight to it. Wait a minute. Okay, so first, we should say a prayer to protect ourselves from negative energy surrounding this. Pray to protect ourselves from negative energy. Oh, gosh. Let's pray to protect ourselves from negative energy. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so okay, so we're going to talk about negative energy before we read the card. You've probably met an energy vampire or a person who leaves you feeling drained after a conversation. Energy vampires come in all shapes and attention-hogging relative, co-workers, most of them negative people. Blah, 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 blah. So where's the prayer? Okay, so God damn it. Let's get straight back to fucking Archangel Michael. Where'd you go, Michael? Okay, so let's pray to Archangel Michael to protect us.
Here's some information for Archangel Michael for protection. According to iPublishing, in truth, The Bible portrays Michael the archangel as a leader of angels. As a leader, warrior, and champion of courage and decency, Michael is a role model for all of us. He is well known for his role as a guardian of both the land and its inhabitants.
And he protects us from darkness and spirits of wickedness. A prayer to Saint Michael. Okay, so Saint Michael, the archangel, defend us in our day of battle. Be our safeguard against the wickedness and the snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do you, O Prince of heavenly hosts, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and evil spirits that wander through the world, seeking to ruin of souls. Amen. Excuse me. O glorious Archangel, Saint Michael, Prince of the heavenly host. Yeah, he's gonna help us. All right. Okay, so these energies, without without a plan, will suck the energy right out of you. Okay. Where he does battle with Satan and casts him out of heaven, that no longer has access to God. This is where Archangel Michael is first brought in to protect. He's the protector of the Jewish people, the guardian of the Catholic Church. And okay, so Archangel Michael prayer. Let's just do our little prayer, and let's get straight to the card because okay, and we already said it. Okay, so we're protected. We're protected. Okay, so ooh la 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 la. All right, so the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay. It represents conflict that is about to come into your life. And for the infant, the conflict should seems to already be there. So some keywords are defeat, surrender, aggression, uh, no win. The church has been silent and peaceful, but now a strong cold wind hits them. Prepare for battle. It's not anything to be afraid of, but okay, so I want to go back to the first meaning that I fucking looked up. because that's the whole reason I fucking took this picture off the wall and read my father's fucking award to you. But he cleaned up the dead bodies after the battle. It took him 6 days to clean up the dead bodies and the dead animals. That was nice of him, huh? Like those are nice intruders. You know what I mean? Those are fucking nice conquerors or nice what the fuck ever's. You know what I mean? How nice of you to clean up the fucking bodies. I mean, you could have just left us here with nothing but disgusting things. How sweet. You've already won me over in spite of me. So don't be alarmed if I fall head over feet. So don't be surprised if I love you. Don't tell me that was the six. I will be mad. Okay, no, that ain't what it was. That ain't what it was. Come on, let's go to history. Um, history. The Five of Swords for a uh, missing in action. So, like, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. All right. Is it Labrador? Let's try Labrador. All right. All right. Arguments, disputes, aggression, bullying, intimidation, conflict, hostility, stress. Okay. So there's a young man who has a very convenient look of contempt on his face, and he's looking at the enemies that he's conquered. And there are 5 swords that he has, which he has taken from the other opponents in this card. 2 other figures are walking away with a sense of sadness, which indicates everything is well. Not everything's well, despite the fact that the battle is over. Uh, engaging in conflict, a disagreement with others, hostility and tension, the fact that you might have won, you might still lose in the big picture because you have annoyed those that you've argued with. And as a result, you're on the road to isolating yourself. And at the moment, you believed it was more important to be right than to appreciate and understand where others are coming from. Right now, it's important to pick up the pieces. You still have a chance to act while the conflict is still fresh. And you might feel as if everyone's against you, but you also lose some friends along the way. This is why you need to make a significant decision about what's more important, uh, mutual progress or being right. You need to stand up to a conflict. Um, it represents ambition in a way that is rather negative. Too much ambition without actual regard for the consequences or the people that you affect. Misplaced ambition, such as depicted in this card, it leaves you a sore loser or a callous winner. And in both cases, it's rather negative, and it asks you to be more considerate of those that you surround yourselves with and let go of your ego. Conflicts, arguments, fights, irritability, wanting to be right, workplace bully, intimidation, defense, attitudes, and hostility. It can be anxious and demanding, uh, making it easy for arguments to materialize, and you might feel irritable. Should you find yourself in an argument, think about the reasons that you're arguing and make sure that you're not arguing just for the sake of being right. And uh, your ego could push loved ones away, and without any real reason, it creates uh, passion when it's sorely needed, but can damage if it continues. Conflicts erupting at work, considerable amounts of hostility. It's easy for arguments to explode, and it comes from misunderstandings, lack of communication, and poor leadership. The Five of Swords also signifies bullying and intimidation, whether it's you or another person. You may be called upon to stand up for yourself or someone else. And while it's tempting, ensure that you handle the matter professionally and don't be afraid to pull in HR if you need to. Processes are usually in place to handle these situations. However, it points toward self victimizing, meaning that your impression of the situation might be what's causing the conflicts in the first place. Um, Defensive behavior usually creates a cycle of aggression, so be very clear with your own actions and how this may affect your environment. You're facing conflicts when it comes to money, whether it's with your partner, your family, your friends. Be extra cautious with finances and when it comes to trusting others. There's people who are attempting to take more than they are owed and take advantage of you, and it puts finances being real tight. So cut some luxurious expenses. Okay, so unbridled ambition, winning at all costs, sneakiness. So the zodiac signs for this card are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So I know nothing about this um, missing infant. Oh, I think her birthday was July. I think they said her birthday was in July, so that would be a Cancer. Possibly Gemini. Not really a Gemini, but you know. The first card that I drew for Maya was the Five of Swords, which uh, has the zodiac of Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Uh, so, like, we want to know where she is. Now, as we start to, what is the word I'm looking for? Analyze Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I don't know anything about this these people. Haven't really followed it. I do know it's a kid that didn't get reported missing. Uh, and has not been found. So let's find her. The element is air. All right, let's go. Let's go. Dig a little deeper, baby. All right. Are we going to do Biddy? No. All right. Okay. There has been a falling out, a disagreement, or a conflict, and you're walking away with a sense of sadness and loss. You're upset and resentful over these words, and the things that you said, you wish that you could take back. Bad blood and general ickiness hang over you uh, as your relations have turned sour. Even if you won the argument, you realize that you've lost more than just your opponent. The battle has cost you trust, respect, dignity, and has isolated you. As you try to pick up the pieces and set this conflict behind you, it's more difficult than you thought. Others have lost faith and are keeping their distance. You'll now need to decide whether your point of view is important. Are you up for a challenge? Not right now, not right now. Okay, not right now, not right now. You need to decide whether your point of view is more important than putting your relationships in jeopardy, or if you can compromise. Uh, the advice of the Five of Swords is to pick your battles. You're tempted to fight conflicts to ensure that you get your way and prove that you're right and defend yourself when you're feeling challenged and threatened. However, most experts agree that choosing your battles wisely is a much better way of engaging energy in every disagreement. Not only will it lead to a more peaceful existence, but your interpersonal relationships are likely to come out stronger. It indicates that you're competing with others on this path to success, and you should see these as threats to your own happiness. So you should seek to win at any cost. If you have engaged in a conflict, it is taking its toll, and it's the Five of Swords is an invitation to apologize. The longer you brood and the more you try to prove you're right, the more challenging the relationships will become. Be ready to say when you are wrong and make amends. There's no sense in trying to justify your behavior. Just let it go and move on. Look for common ground with those you have been fighting with and seek forgiveness so you can put it behind you. It points to failure. It shows that despite your best efforts, you are likely to come out a loser. So allow yourself to become disillusioned. Then, so if you allow yourself to become delusions after a loss, then you'll find yourself on a path to ruin, torment. Accept defeat and learn from it and be smarter and wiser the next time. All right, so this. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Do. Tension, conflict, disagreement. It's not always a good omen. It represents defeat, surrender, and walking away. Uh, it, typically, oh, wait a minute. How do we. Okay, there's. Okay, here it is. Tarot card meanings. All right. Why don't I share the screen? Like, that's the whole point in being on fucking StreamYard, is so you guys can read along. So you can read along, you know what I mean? Make things interesting. Or whatever. Share screen, yo. Alright, boom. Shaka laka laka. Boom, shaka laka 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 boom. Shaka laka 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 boom. Okay, so like I don't know. What about just the window? Share. Shaka laka 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 boom. Alright. How you guys can keep up. Okay. Ouch. Oh shit. Alright. So all right. Traditionally, it references the grim and sobering process of cleaning up the battlefield after a conflict. The war as a whole has not been won or lost, but there were grievances and casualties, deaths. Uh, it admonishes the loser to study carefully what went wrong so a new strategy can be devised and more setbacks forestalled. There is a need to regroup and rethink a game plan, discover your blind spots, weak links, and take corrective measures before getting back into the field of another round. In modern times, when the battle is more often being waged with words, laws, and contracts instead of weapons, we have even more reason to examine our approach, our style, our strength, and our weaknesses. And if we have underdeveloped communication skills or we lose our objectivity in this tense moments, our ability to reach our goals and our dreams will decline. And if we avoid letting ourselves be haunted by the misfortunes, um, we will go on to achieve our goals. So do not obsess. Try to learn something. Five of Swords. It advises you to prepare yourself for disappointment over how other humans set priorities. And it seems that the lower end of human nature might be eroding goodwill in the current situation due to a strong cultural trend towards scarcity thinking. Me first. It needs to develop thick skin or carry your sword closer than you do. So prepare yourself for what you do not want to know. Like, That is the best advice. I mean, it doesn't take a psychic to tell you that. I mean, this isn't going to be a happy ending, but you want to know the truth. So prepare yourself um, for the reality of what low down scum other people do with their lives. Like, you want to know who did it and what they did. You're gonna be, it's gonna be heartbreaking information, right? So prepare yourself. I pray to Archangel Michael to protect you from negative energy before you actually find the truth. Uh, Try not to be quick to get angry or jump to conclusions. Um, that okay, just because others have a pessimistic sense of the world, their reality does not have to undermine yours. It's certainly no point in struggling or competing with them. The challenge is now how to sidestep confrontation and evoke a more evolved response, and at the very least, be assertive about setting boundaries. Okay, so should I go ahead and pull the next card? I'm kind of scared too because I'm not prepared to know this. I mean, hell no. Hell no. All right, so, all right. All right, so let's continue reading on the Five of Swords. Okay. Zodiac sign, Aquarius. So didn't we just say it was something else? Drop my cigarette. Didn't I just say the Five of Swords was something else? Well, anyway, the Five of Swords specifically is an Aquarius. The element is air. The crystal is clear quartz. Winning at all cost, cowardliness, and pride before fall. Winning isn't always everything. Sometimes all you can do is count your blessings and accept limitations and move on. The Five of Swords is known as the Lord of Defeat. It represents you and what you are holding to gain from this confrontation. Okay, whether the winner is you or your opponent depends on which figure the Five of Swords represents you and what you're hoping to gain from a confrontation. You're about to enter a conflict, and it's in your highest best interest to be very clear about your objectives and how much you're willing to sacrifice. A happy go lucky Venus is paying a surprise visit to Aquarius, but catches him in one of his infamous moods. A surprise visit, huh? A surprise visit to an Aquarius. Happy little go lucky little guy. That's a song I made up long time ago. Happy little go lucky little guy. Shit. Motherfucker never even once. Motherfuckers never even cried. A happy little go lucky little guy. Well, kind of didn't go like that. It was like way more enthusiastic. Okay. Oh, shit. Ah. All right. Two figures in this card are dressed in yellow, symbolizing intellect and spirit. The winner, whose grin is gathering up swords, is wearing red and green. That represents passion and strength. Brute force has won this fight, and reasons and spiritual truths have lost. And it's your classic high school jock versus nerd showdown. Jock versus nerds. Okay. Revenge of the nerds. Okay. Okay, so um, it watches others walk towards choppy waters and set sights on distant lands. The water in the abyss on the other side of the realm of spirit, and this defeat has taught them wisdom to pursue higher calling. Meanwhile, the Five of Swords, the winner is still busy cleaning up after the mess. After all, maybe he hasn't won after all. Okay, so obviously they were successful in Germany, but wasn't it nice of them to clean up the fucking dead animals and shit on their way when it was over? Like, thanks for cleaning up my cuz. Thanks for cleaning up my family off the ground. You know what I mean? Could have just left them all fucking dead there. Like, would they have cleaned up the dead bodies in America? Had they been over here? Would they? Would they? Did they clean up the dead bodies in the Holocaust? No, they just buried the motherfuckers. Or did they? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what in the world possessed him to clean that shit up? Um, excuse me. Okay. Okay. Win or lose, the outcome of this conflict will teach you about yourself. Uh, for example, where your priorities are. It teaches you sometimes you have to choose between being on the winning side or being on the side that's morally right. It teaches you dignity in defeat and grace in victory. And as you learn how conflicts are lost and won, when you simply have to walk away from a hopeless situation, you can't win every struggle. And defeat is a part of life. And the Five of Swords, the damage is already done and the fight is over and the cleanup is in progress. Huh. Okay, so like let's take a pause. So channeled messages. I don't like doing channeled messages because they're not verified information. Like the tarot card meaning, you can look that up for yourself, you know. But the channeled message is like specifically off the top of my fucking head. Specifically off the top of my fucking head. It's like a fucking army marching back of me. So many lives I've touched, so much anger, no particular direction, just sprays and straight through your radio for days and days. So an army like a angry, not an angry mob of people, but an army of people. I would say to get as close to this space, like nobody knows where, where, you know what I mean? Nobody knows where or when. Like you assume that the infant is deceased. You assume that just because, like, what are you going to do with an infant? You know what I mean? You can't keep it, enroll it in school somewhere else, you know what I mean, under a different name. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? You can't just, like, smuggle an infant, you know what I mean? They're fucking documented. Uh, so you assume. So there would be, like, a few different places of like residence or place of place of existence. You know, the mother, the father, the sitter. Uh, like get as close to those places as you can, and a week, like put yourself into like the situation in Germany, 6 consecutive days, a week, day and night, as close as you can possibly get to each possible place that something could have happened. So, and that way you can think at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can see, like, if I was to dispose of something here, which way would I go, George? Which way would I go? You know what I mean? Like, how can you get as close to the the mother as possible without violating any laws? Like right across the street. Like, oh, we're just chilling here, waiting on the bus, girl. Yeah, we missed the last bus, so we'll be here till morning. Just, just chill, like right across the street, and focus on the entrances and exits, and where you could possibly go from there. Like, where would you go at 2 o'clock in the morning? Like, was she colicky? Like, my kid cried all the time. I wanted to wring his fucking neck. All he did was fucking cry. Sometimes I wanted to choke him. You know what I mean? Did she cry a lot? Like, why would, or or was it abuse that got out of control, like a rape, or did they just want her to be quiet because she was crying, or did they accidentally throw her across the room? But like, to get as close as possible to this person without violating any laws, like you could only uh, you could only post up for about a week or so before it is like stalking or harassment. But I mean, you could just chill next door or across the street, and like seeing that area at 2 a.m. You know what I mean? Are the lights on? Is the TV on? If you were to leave, like, which way would you go? You know what I mean? Hmm. For an entire week in each location, pull like five all-nighters. Like, especially if there's other kids in the house now. Like, are these other kids awake in the middle of the night? Uh, mm, hmm. You know, because like the first night would be like the normal routine of these locations. The first night would be the normal routine. The second night would be a little bit like a, what are they doing over there? The third night they'd be pretending to be. Never mind. Let's move on. Let's move on. Constant arguing. It doesn't matter who's right and wrong anymore. A business deal may have fallen through. So the element is air. The zodiac sign is Aquarius. Excuse me. And it's crystal clear. 5 corresponds to quick, swift action, and energies combine to remind you that haste and destruction are a dangerous mix. Well, okay. Why did I do a channeled reading? Why did I do a channeled message? Now I just sound crazy. Camp out on the lawn for 5 days. Just like, what do these people do at 2 o'clock in the morning? Are they sleeping? What's going on in the 2 a.m. areas for these people that you suspect? Because I don't really know. I haven't followed this like I should have. Like, I donated $5 to Anthony just because he's cute. It's a card of tension, conflict. All right. It represents defeat and surrender. The meaning means all you want is for this to be over so you can forgive and forget. But like, you really can't forgive and forget and with it. So undecided, unresolved. Okay. It's conflicts and other battles impending. Okay. It's a battle, a no-win battle. Sometimes we get lost in details and we lose track of what we're fighting for. The he said, she said, the petty or not so petty grievances become the thing rather than difficult moments. And it shows us the scenario. It's about a battle in which there are no winners. By the time someone had triumphed, it was way over, and there's maybe officially a winner and a loser, but from over here, it kind of looks like everyone lost. It's a huge loss. The loss of an infant. How do you just lose it? You misplaced it? Or when it's easy to get hung up on the wrong things and fight the wrong people and play small and petty when there's something bigger going on. And it can be a defense mechanism protecting you from accepting what's really going on, and it can be a distraction put in place that wants you to keep small and divide and conquer. It's a time-honored battle tactic which warmongers set communities against each other to distract them from their own power hungry actions, and it may be as huge as a civil war, but it plays out in our everyday lives in many ways. Consider how old grudges eat up your energy. Even if it means admitting defeat, you don't always have to have the last word. Admit defeat and turn your attention to something more productive. So, so I don't really feel like it's a colicky baby, shaken baby type of accident. I feel like there's an argument and someone's holding her. This card means that no one really wins. And you're no more of a loser than anyone else. And no one really wins because you're probably not going to find a happy, healthy, giggling baby somewhere. You know, it's a loss. When you find it, it's not going to feel like victory. Mm. So much is lost, and if apologies are due, consider it time. I'm so sorry for your loss, by the way. Uh, don't hang on to guilt and grievances. Don't scratch up open wounds. Acknowledge that it isn't worth fighting, and be ready to lay down your sword. And the healing won't happen right away because things are so raw, but at least the stage will be set when the time is right. Okay, so uh, we'll do one more section. Uh, Angels and ancestors. We're going to pull a clarifying card, which could end up a clarifying card. We could end up reading for another hour. Okay, so the Five of Swords in conclusion.
According to Wikipedia, Five of Swords is a minor arcana tarot card. Tarot cards are used throughout much of Europe to play tarot card games.
Okay. Self interest, discord, hostility, aggression, dishonor. Okay. This is the last one from astrology. Okay. Um, uh, um, mm, it also indicates total self interest about I and me, and means giving up, walking out, and being stressed mid conflict. It means you or someone you're connected with needs to look at the larger view of themselves instead of defining it narrowly. The larger view would involve people we love, and it would also involve others that are connected to the larger perspective. We need to involve the world and ourselves, and this needs to understand and not ignore this very basic fact. Alternatively, the appearance may also imply the need to put your own needs first, and it depends on the situation. If someone is taking advantage of you, you must get free. There comes a time when you need to take care of yourself. You need to claim your rights. It's an indication of difficult times. Partners with a dark side. Be careful to keep safe, especially on first dates with strangers. Uh, First, when you meet people for the first time, like, yeah, I'm not fixing to just show up alone with some random strangers to go searching out in the fucking boon ass woods without a fucking pistol. You know what I mean? Uh, it means a lot of fighting and conflict. All right, so let's do this clarifying card. We'll get it from the middle of the deck. The middle of the deck. All right, so. Okay, so the card fell out of the deck. I didn't even finish my sentence. My sentence was Justice for Maya. And it's the Eight of Cups reversed. Okay. All right. The Eight of Cups reversed. Listen to your heart about your next course of action. Uh, you find it difficult to leave some of the security. Uh, what does it mean in tarot? Uh, Refusing to walk away from something out of fear. You might feel that you are in an unfulfilling career. Don't be afraid of leaving something behind that is no longer serving you. Okay. Oh, shit. Mm. Uh, the Eight of Cups reverse. It's a being afraid to move on. You need to take a close look at your relationships. So take a close look at Amaya's relationships. So, a mother and a father who don't seem to be good people. Like they seem to be suspected, which would mean they're not good people, which would mean they're probably cheating on each other. So who are they cheating with? Take a close look at their relationships. All right. All right. Oh, what does the Eight of Cups reverse mean? All right. Oh. Ouch. It raises the question, do I stay or do I go? Caught between walking away from a situation one last time or trying to make things better one last time. But the question is, can this situation improve or is it a lost cause? Check with your intuition to try this again. Blah, 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 blah. It means if you wish to try again, uh, it may be time to move on and pursue a different path. Mm. Or pretend to pursue a different path. Pretend to befriend, you know what I mean? And like literally chill at 2 o'clock in the morning and see what the situation's like. It shows drifting one place to the next. The grass is always greener. Oh, okay. Pretend to befriend. Young girl by the name of Brenda, and I pretend to be Brenda. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, Eight of Cups reversed. Uh, uh, a bad situation. Being afraid. All right. Strong emotions are present. Scared to move on. Faking happiness. Um, oh, oh, it urges you to push forward. Oh, shit. Come on. All right, so we're not going to go too deep into the Eight of Cups first because that was just our clarifying card. Okay. Okay. Embodies abandonment, a feeling left behind and isolated, dealing with a fear that someone will leave you. Uh, uh, Previous relations failed, parents split up at a young age. It's time to get some help processing and overcoming problems. Um, uh, uh, all right. Being afraid to move on and taking a close look at relationships. Ah, uh, Continuing down a dead end road stops you from finding the right path. Um, Courage, believe that joyous things are awaiting if you dare go on this journey. Uh, it's a state of confusion about the path that you're supposed to take, and it's a result of not knowing what's best for you. Consider all the options and write down the pros and cons. Uh, the answer to this is no. The only exception is if you're asking a question about leaving a relationship or cutting ties is best. Uh, the Eight of Cups zodiac sign is Pisces, and it's associated with spiritual healing. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Letting go and abandonment are the major themes of this card. However, it's like moving to a new city and making the world a better place. Uh, okay, so. Alright. So, if you've pulled this, um, just remember letting go of relationships, friendships, and connections can open new doors. The only way to the next level is to leave the current one. Okay. I feel like I should read just a tiny bit more. Okay. Okay, so this is my final thoughts for Maya and the Eight of Cups reversed. Okay, so notice the eclipse in this card. It represents meeting of the inner sun uh, and the moon. So conscious and subconsciousness. Your mind, your heart, your soul. You know that it's time to walk away. You have the clarity to make everything easier and attract really good opportunities and coincidences into your life. The mountain in the background, it symbolizes decisions that you're making today will improve in all areas in ways that you can't imagine. So many doors are going to be open. It means a breakup, um, maybe a peaceful and friendly one. You could have learned everything that you need in this relationship. No one cheated or lied or did anything wrong. No harm done. You just go your separate ways and explore life with another person who's more suited to be with who you've become. Okay, and that is the upright part that says no one cheated. So, did they cheat or did they not? Mm, let's find out. Uh, Reversed is staying in a situation. You can move on, yet you find yourself feeling paralyzed. You're afraid the future isn't going to bring what you want. And right now, you're in a familiar situation that's not so bad. So you're avoiding making new moves. You don't want to rock the boat. So you'll probably go on like this for a while. You're used to it. And as time goes by, it gets on your nerves, and you deserve better. Get help from your friends and face your doubts and worries. Okay, all of the cups are associated with water, which is associated with the astrological signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So it's associated with water. Water. Uh, because the Eight of Cups is about a new start, it indicates cardinal energy. Therefore, it's most associated with the sign of Cancer, who has cardinal water energy. So, a Cancer with water energy. It's like clouds that are about to rain, but haven't fallen yet. Uh, when it rains, uh, it's time to water your dreams. The longer you wait, the heavier it becomes, and the more your dreams will dry out. This, a card can represent a certain person, but in the Eight of Cups, the card tends to hold a mirror to your own face and show you your own state of living, and it rarely represents another person. Uh, okay, so the Eight of Cups is about Amaya, not as another person. Hmm, she was a Cancer. Wow. Mm, mm. Okay, like for real. It's most associated with the sign of Cancer. Okay, so water, Amaya, and water, and water. Uh, it can represent a certain person outside of you. It tends to mirror your own face, and it rarely represents another person. Okay, so now I have to move on. So, thinking about leaving a situation. Okay, so the Eight of Cups as a person. The Eight of Cups reversed as a person. Mm, 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 Eight of Cups reversed as an outcome. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and see. No, we don't do this. We don't do this. These are opinions that it just pulled up. I don't like that site because it's like a chat. Uh, okay, the Eight of Cups are reversed as a person. Okay. So, upright, following your dream. Yeah, but it's reversed. Abandoning your dreams, sacrificing happiness, and feeling miserable. Uh, walking away. Uh, wearing a red cloak. Wearing red. Water, mountains, and the moon. Represents a journey. Separating the land symbolizes subconscious versus conscious. And the mountain symbolizes stability, and the moon symbolizes dreams. Okay. Uh, it's Pisces. The Eight of Cups. Uh, personality type. All right. surrender to an uncomfortable, loveless, and miserable reality. This person might surrender their life to please someone else, like it's selling their business to work in a job they hate, or sometimes shows up when you feel completely lost in the world and have an issue with shame and guilt. Uh, there, the seeker has stopped growing. So the seeker has stopped growing. Okay. It indicates someone who feels old and useless, uh, believe that they're over the hill and have nothing to offer the world, seems to be too difficult and hopeless. And it's easier to give up to the demands of others than to focus on your own needs and desires. Someone with a tendency to escape through prescription drugs or illicit drug addictions, battling lethargy and apathy. Belief in things are a lot worse than they actually are. People tend to go towards the path of least resistance. However, the lack of growth in their life ends up hurting in the long haul, and you will have to participate whether you like it or not. And this is someone who is hiding in the background and is at times not noticed, feeling very emotionally misunderstood. Okay. Okay, the Eight of Cups. Okay, that's interesting. The Eight of Cups and the Five of Swords. Finding the truth about a dark secret. How you doing? Well, all right. Uh, it's time to chase something big. There's no guarantees. Something's got to give, and it's most likely going to be routines. Uh, uh, these dreams will scare you. Time will pass either way, so you might as well get started now. So, once again, I have 0 viewers, and it's okay. Totally okay. The Lord is righteous in all his ways, loving toward all he has made. So, the Archangel Michael. I'm not going to pull another card because it'll be another half hour at least. And, like, nobody's even paying attention to shit that I'm saying. But, like, I wonder about the water. Hmm. Hmm. So, oh, let's do one more thing because now I'm confused because I thought it said Cancer and then it said Pisces or whatever. So, like, a Cancer and a Pisces. Astrology zodiac of the Eight of Cups reversed. Okay. Huh. All right. Negligence, abandonment, uh, extremely sensitive. Is it deep emotional bruises and wounds? trust put in the wrong hands, and betrayal that has repeated itself over and over and over again. Uh, it reminds us that Mars is found in the sign of Cancer, where all rational activities get distracted by emotions that need to be set free. So take special care and caution to stay safe as a signal of being naive and childish. Okay, so like, where is the. Okay. Eight of Cups timeline. Okay, so right now we're in the present. Something is fast or pushy for the tender personality. We might try against our better judgment. If it or distorted, time to regenerate and breathe, as well as solitude, separate. Now, and see why a person is right now and why. Like, why? Okay, so that is an important point to make. Like, why? Why? Why is. Why? Like, why would you possibly not report a kid missing? Possibly because you didn't know, because you were negligent. Like, have you, as a parent, ever like went 5 days without uh, seeing or you know connecting with your child? Could it possibly be negligence, or is it okay? That's all I've got. Like, so I'm going to point out the significance of water, Cancer, Pisces, uh, H2O. Okay, so let's do our ending theme. How do we end? All right. All right. How do you end a tarot reading? I want to do it properly. Opening and closing a reading. However, all right. So, when the reading is over, spend some time meditating and releasing energies. It also combines with a prayer that basically gives thanks to those energies for helping me and telling those energies that they're free to go. So, oh, shit. So, let us thank our angels and ancestors for the two cards. There's a future card. I mean, but I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. I'll do that tomorrow. The conclusion. So, thank you, angels and ancestors. uh, for focusing our energy on the infant in Indianapolis. Angels and ancestors, you're free to go. Thank you. Thank you. I wonder if there's a specific one that you say. Tarot prayers. Okay. Thank you for the guidance. So, Maiden, warrior, mother crone, guide my hands by yours alone. Let this reading be true and sound, the future revealed, the hidden found. So we still have one card to go. I'm not going to do that in this video. Rover, guardian, hunter, guide with me always by my side. I pray for guidance and I pray for sight. Protect me with your golden light. The cards are shuffled, the cards are dealt. The door is open and the power is felt. Let me see with open eyes, speak the truth and tell no lies. And when the future is revealed, nothing more is concealed. Remember that the future is not set in stone. Guide me, maiden, warrior, mother, crone. Cards of vision, please help me see what was, what is, and what will be. And by the power of threes, 3 times 3, so I can help Amaya here who sits before me. So, me and my 0 viewers. Goodbye.